Hi there, everybody. I thought I'd just share a little project I was working on recently. It deals with the old Millennium Falcon from the Force Awakens timeline from Lego, and also the Millennium Falcon Microfighter version, also from the Force Awakens timeline. I was looking at that new Kessel Run Millennium Falcon, and I felt a little jealous that it had that interesting escape pod on the front. And I thought, well, why buy a whole new Kessel Run Lego set when I could possibly just make my own escape pod for my existing Force Awakens set? Since there are two ships and I'm planning on showing how to make my modifications, I will focus on one ship per video. In this video, I'm going to focus on just how to make the modification for the smaller microfighter. I'm going to start off by just mentioning that one of my premises was I didn't want to modify this ship. I also didn't want to change anything with the microfighter. So let's start off. I'm going to pop my little appendage onto the microfighter. I'm going to start with the little microfighter escape pod. That's just because it's a lot smaller, a lot easier to deal with. Not a lot of parts here, but you'll sever it by just snapping it down a little bit and pulling it off. These lights here are on the original design. I didn't want to remove them, so therefore you can't exactly bring anything flush to this edge because the lights get in the way. So I've left it kind of a suggestion. It kind of leaves a little bit of a gap there. I have ways of filling it in, but it always requires removing those lights. So, what do we got here? Okay, so to build the escape pod for the little microfighter Millennium Falcon, we start off with this number of pieces. You got mostly little plates, some tiny little parts. We'll kind of put this together. I'm going to start with this little guy, little 2x3 plate. I have two of these already stacked on each other. I just put two little 1x2 trans clear blue on top of this plate. I'm going to put one of these little panel pieces. It's kind of a newer panel. It kind of makes the box. This is the little fuselage of the escape pod. Let's stick these two little other panels on it. And then we're going to throw in some wedging. So the wedges come in. There's going to be some other parts to hold this together a little bit more sturdy, so it might look a little loose at the time. I'm going to take this. This is a brick with the two studs on the front as well. Stick that in the front. And grab one of these little, I don't know what they call them, ingots? Great, I can't grab it. It's just the, alright, so it's like a little gray ingot. Originally they were gold bars, but now they've got them in gray. Stick that on the front. That's how I did the front. You can do the front however you want. You have lots of fun with your front. I'm going to grab these two little 1x1 single bricks. I did them in different colors just because these Millennium Falcon, the old one, it's a little beat up. Things are different colors. Not everything matches. Some little, these tiny little wedges on the sides just to give it a little bit of a wedge side. That's the top. Now I'm in the bottom. Let's go build the top. The top, we're going to take one of these, one of these, one of those. Keeping with the color scheme. And that's that. Pretty simple stuff. At this point, we'll throw this on. I'll hold it together in like 5 different angles. I'll just drop the whole thing on. Now the whole thing's kind of held together. At the very bottom, just to kind of keep with the bottom of the theme with the bottom of this microfighter build, I've got the little round thing. Now at this point, you can just grab this 2x2 plate. It rips off those tiles, that vent. Throw in your goodies, whatever you want to stick in there, and close it up. Then to attach it, just kind of slide in, make it so the little lights kind of go in between those vents, and pinch it right there. Get that. Look at that. Now it holds really good, and say it's a pretty decent approximation of what the Microfighter might have ended up looking like if the Millennium Falcon still had its front nose piece, its little escape pod. All right, I'm gonna call that good for now. Well, thanks for taking a peek, and I hope it was marginally interesting. Here's the little Microfighter Millennium Falcon with a solo style escape pod.